wars are different. Without going into the intricacies of it, they're just different. Different types of wars. Desert Shield, Desert Storm was a little bit different. You're thinking about Kuwait and Saddam going into Kuwait, and the need to push him out of Kuwait. So it's a little bit different. It was easy. I won't say easy easy militarily as a whole, without prolonging it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that went quickly, which was kind of good. Of course, I was there for at least 6 months. But in terms of expeditiousness of the mission compared to, let's say, Afghanistan or second Iraq, Desert Shield, Desert Storm went quickly. Yeah, it was very expeditious. I think the force was just too overwhelming. Yeah.
When on Operation Freedom, how long were you there?
At least 1 year.
Yeah, I think my brother was about 13 months. He was in the
Yes,
Army as well.
At least 1 year, yeah.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Oh man, that's 101st Airborne.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Me too.
Oh, you were?
Yes, I worked
Okay.
for 101st Airborne. I was attached to them as worked in logistics. Pretty much was involved in everything major logistically through the whole year. I was in charge of the command center for not 101st, 106th Transportation Battalion was under 101st Airborne.
Gotcha.
And they were tasked with pretty much everything logistics.
How important is logistics?
Oh, that's one of the biggest pieces.
Yeah, right.
Without that piece, nothing happens. I don't care. Everything that comes in has to go somewhere. Whether they come in by air, whether they come in by sea. I think the front line of the war, specifically Iraqi freedom, was moving those things to the front line. Whether they came in by air, they came in by sea, somehow they had to get to the end user. So going back to your questions, I think logistics is what makes it work.
Yeah. Logistics in itself is probably one of the most underestimated, underappreciated fields. I mean, you even think of just getting this water here, this equipment here, every single thing we have. Logistics played its role.
There's absolutely no way you would survive without it.
Right.
I mean, I think people have more appreciation now after the experiences we had with COVID.
True.
And the fact that everything came to a halt.
Yeah.
In the beginning, where we were all trying to see how things and supplies were going to move. Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing, I mean, when you look at logistics and how well it goes now, you have to begin to appreciate the United States Army. There's a lot of things that we do worldwide stems from the military.
And when it comes to the wars, when it comes to war and logistics, a lot of people think that war is just about shooting bombs, but a lot of times there is a strategic point where one side is trying to interrupt the logistics from the opponent, right? So destroying roads, destroying their energy or power supplies, destroying their airports to stop the opponent from doing something.
Yeah, it's going on in Sudan as we speak.
Yeah,
the
right.
two sides are going at it. The two generals are going at it. And doing things like that, but in so doing, destroying the society that they try to build. It happens, and that's a huge piece. Logistics, without logistics, there's really everything comes to a halt anyway. So everybody tries to target that. Airports, even going to the seaports and trying to sabotage things. And there's just so much. Without supplies, you have nothing. If the soldiers have no food and water, they do nothing.
Right.
There's really no way they can survive. They have no ammo for all the weapons and equipment that they have, or supplies or diesel. It's all logistics based. And these days, the world is so aware that in order for you to make that impact, if you hit logistics, then you're doing really well. So that's a big piece here.
For sure.